Welcome to Rise and Shine, your daily business tech boost with me, Charly Leetham. If you're a small business owner looking to simplify technology and get real, actionable advice from someone with 35 years of IT experience, you're in the right place. Every episode, I'll dive into tools and systems like email, CRM, marketing and tracking, and I'll break them down into bite-sized tips you can use straight away. Your time is valuable, so let's get straight to the point. It's time to work smarter, not harder. Rise and Shine. It's your daily dose of business tech inspiration with me, Charly Leetham. Episode number 583, and we are going to be talking about a question I got on my YouTube channel. So I'm just going to pull that up. There we go. There's the question. And the question says, hey, thanks so much. I'm planning on buying 5 MailLite licenses for Zoho. If I created a shared mailbox, which storage would it use? This is a great question. Will it pull all 5 users' storage and use it, or use the storage of the user who created the shared mailbox? So let me come back and have a chat to you now that I've asked the question. Let me come back. Okay, so what they're asking is, when you create a shared mailbox, which storage does it use? Each user gets an allocation of data space. The amount of data depends on what type of account you've purchased, and whether it will pull the data across all the users, which is fine when you've got individuals logging in and it's something that you're logging into, and it's a mailbox that has storage assigned to it. But what happens with a shared mailbox? A shared mailbox is one of those things that sort of sits out there in the ether. I have done, sorry for the stutter, I have done podcast episodes on shared mailboxes in Zoho specifically. But basically, a shared mailbox acts like a collaborative inbox where users can read, reply, tag, and manage emails sent to a common address. It's not a standalone mailbox with its own separate storage. That's the first thing that we need to understand. It's a really good question to ask, because different platforms handle it different ways. And what you don't want to do is have a shared inbox that takes up data storage, as well as then taking up the data storage of the users that use it. So not typically, what can happen is you create a shared mailbox, someone sends in a 10 megabyte attachment which goes into this shared mailbox. Some platforms, not all, some will say, okay, well, that 10 megabytes, we're going to allocate that 10 megabytes to user 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that 10 megabytes gets taken up out of everyone's space. Not just the shared inbox, not just the person that owns the inbox, but all of them. So it's 50 megabytes of space because you've got 5 users sharing this one box. Doesn't sound right, does it? It is the way it is for some platforms, so it's really handy to understand how each platform handles it. So Zoho will actually allocate that storage to the person who owns the account, who owns who owns the shared mailbox. If you have an owner on the mailbox, the person who created it owns it, they're the one that gets it. What that means is that it doesn't come out of the shared mailbox. That there's the data, or the data storage, the storage space for that account isn't sort of allocated to the shared mailbox. It just sits there pretty much as a connector, and when something comes into that mailbox, it is allocated to the person that owns it. So if a 10 megabyte attachment comes in, 10 megabytes is taken out of the user that created that mailbox. Now, in my case, it's typically me because I'm the admin, which is why I tend to have a lot of storage space allocated to me, and I bring everyone else's down so that I get the space. That's where my spend goes. So let's just go back through that and make sure I've got that right. So let's say I come in, I create a shared mailbox, people start mailing in attachments to that shared mailbox. It comes out of my storage. If I have 5 gigabytes and I end up with a gigabyte of data that has come in, a gigabyte of attachments, email that has come in on that shared mailbox, my data storage, my storage for my mailbox, my 5 gigabyte storage for my mailbox is reduced to 4 gigabytes. It's reduced by that 1 gig because it's sitting in my inbox. essentially. So that's how it works. Now, how do you handle that? How can you manage that? Well, there's a couple of things that you can do. The first one is making sure that so I'm just checking my notes here. If users, that's the last thing that I should really point out here. If the owner's inbox or storage fills up, mailboxes, their mailboxes, even the shared mailboxes can hit their limits, and possibly it will block future email reception until space is freed or additional storage is added. So that's the thing you've got to watch, is when you've got someone who owns a shared mailbox, understand that what comes into that mailbox also goes into their storage, comes out of their quotas. How do you manage that? What's the sorts of things you can do? Well, I would actually recommend running filters and making sure that if you do have attachments that come into your mailbox, they're moved into a cloud storage system somewhere and removed from your emails. That's one of the first things I'd do, is make sure you're removing attachments or managing it so that your attachments are cleared regularly. One of the biggest space wasters, space consumers, consumer of space, there we go, consumer of storage in email is attachments. I have had it where someone sent me, especially now that email limits are increasing, so you're not getting hit with that attachment is too big, we can't send it. Let's say they're sending you 15 megabyte files, and they say, oh look, here's revision 1, here's revision 2, here's revision 3. 3 revisions in of a 15 megabyte file is 45 megabytes. That's huge. It's absolutely huge, particularly when you're talking, you might only have 5 gigabytes of storage. It adds up really, really quickly. So clearing out the attachments in your email is a really good idea. And particularly with things like Zoho Mail, you can run filters that say when an attachment comes in, put it into the storage, put it into cloud storage. You can put it into Zoho Docs or Zoho Work Drive. You can put it into Google Docs. You can put it into not Outlook. What is it? OneDrive. There's a few storage systems that work natively with the Zoho interface, and those filters will work on that. That's the first thing I do. The second thing I do is go through periodically and actually just clear out my mail. Run the filters, have a look at what's consuming your space, delete attachments, clear up attachments, archive off mail, even if you have to download it and put it onto a data stick and stick it away if you're looking to archive it. There are other options, of course, but making sure you're managing your email and you're not just taking, like some of us, 18 years worth of email and trying to store it all. The final thing you can do, of course, is add more storage. These accounts, particularly with Zoho, not just particularly with Zoho, but Zoho is one of them, you can go and add more storage to your user's account. With the MailLiter account, you can upgrade it automatically you can upgrade it fairly easily from a 5 gig to a 10 gig account, doubling its space already. And then you can also go and add data storage add-ons to your user, so you can just give them more data storage. Work out who owns the shared inboxes, have a look at what their storage is, make sure you're managing it. Data storage is not unlimited. Data storage doesn't just get magically created. You do need to manage it. It was an excellent question. Thank you so much to the viewer who asked that question. The answer to your specific question is the mail that comes into a shared mailbox will go out of the person, will be allocated to the person who owns that mailbox. So if you created the mailbox, that will come out of your quota. If someone else created the mailbox, it will come out of their quota. Hope that answers the question. If you guys have any more questions on that, please do ask. Leave comments wherever you're watching or listening to this video. Come across to my community, askcharlyleetham.locals.com, and join the conversation there. If this video has been useful to you, please give it a like. And if you haven't already, I would really appreciate it if you'd subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell to find out when I drop more content. And I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Bye. Hey there, thanks so much for tuning in to Rise and Shine, your daily business tech boost. I hope today's episode gave you some actionable insights that will make your business tech work smarter for you. If you found value, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with other small business owners who could use a daily boost. For more tips, tools, and resources, visit www.askcharlyleetham.com. Until next time, keep rising, keep shining, and let's make tech simple together.